Ing the captive portal that knew my name, the night Wi-Fi said room 1006 at 9:18 p.m. The Wi-Fi welcomed me to a room I wasn't staying in. I wasn't anywhere. That is, I was in our apartment in the honest light over the sink, rinsing a glass I didn't need. My phone buzzed with the cheerful insistence companies use to announce minor miracles. Welcome, Evan. Your complimentary access is active. Network height or guest. Room 1006. Need help. Call the front desk. Underneath, in gold letters too proud for their job, the login portal glowed, a photo of a bar and the promise of speed. Maya left an hour ago for dinner with a client, a phrase that wears a blazer even when it's whispered. She kissed my cheek in the doorway with that quick, accurate kiss that knows how to be kind without being specific. Probably late, she said. Don't wait up. I'll text if we run long. I nodded like a permission slip. If you've never seen a captive portal decide it knows you, it feels like a postcard written in your handwriting from a city you've never visited. I tapped the help link, which offered a number for the hotel and a cheerful FAQ about bandwidth. Below the fold, your access expires in 2 hours. It occurs to me that there are generous reasons for small betrayals. The client insisted. The client insisted on comfort. The client insisted on speed. But the Wi-Fi knew my name because at some point, for convenience, we signed into a system together. A loyalty account, a shared password, a box we ticked to make our lives frictionless. Friction has a different address for truth than convenience does. I set the glass on the counter and stare at my phone until the silence admits I'm pretending to think. The Heightware sits 6 blocks away, the kind of hotel that taught the city how to pose. Brass that will never oxidize. Plants that learned restraint. A lobby piano with the politeness of a water feature. I put on a jacket that knows how to be quiet and let my feet take me the long way, because the long way is where you try out your speeches and then decide not to use any of them. Inside, the air smelled like someone bottled a season called late citrus. A cluster of people curated their laughter near the bar. A concierge smiled with the calm of a person who collects secrets like tipped dollars. I didn't ask. I walked toward the elevators with the certainty that gets mistaken for belonging. On 10, the carpet took its job very seriously. I stopped 2 doors before 1006 because I'm not a saint and I'm not a headline. I'm a man trying to breathe at the right speed. Do you want tea when you get home? I texted. It is amazing how often I offer a beverage when what I mean is a boundary. 3 dots appeared, took a breath, disappeared, returned like a stray idea. Maybe, she wrote. Don't wait up. This might run late. Read the handle of 1006 clicked with the gentlest self-confidence money can buy. A rectangle of warm light widened. Maya stepped out with her posture from before there were bills, spine tall, face practical. She closed the door behind her with the tenderness she reserves for other people's books, not ours. Evan, she said, my name as a soft invoice. The internet told me welcome, I said, because humor is my leash for panic. It also told me your room number. She blinked, the slow kind, like she was negotiating with her own reflection. Not the hallway, she said. There's a smoker's terrace by the service elevator. 2 minutes. The terrace was a glass rectangle hovering over a quiet street. There was a table that knew how to listen and an ashtray performing neutrality. I stood with my hands on the rail like it could teach me which muscles to use. I was lying when I left, Maya said, and the sentence was not a confession. It was a rehearsal she finally let the audience hear. Dinner happened, the client happened, but I think a week, write a jingle for the kettle, learn a single step on 4 kitchen tiles, carry a glass of water to the couch without hands. Bench by the river. We let the water lie about being Paris and forgive it immediately. She took her phone and turned off every setting that confuses attention with love. She texted while I watched, the message people in movies never write because movies prefer explosions. Thank you for the attention. I'm choosing my marriage. Please don't contact me. She put the phone face down, then flipped it face up because transparency needs two chances. We slept badly and near. There is a grammar to survival. In the morning, the light did what light does. Announced that night's arguments couldn't invoice today. I made coffee. Maya messaged her team. Debrief tomorrow, not tonight. I need useful silence. Nobody asked useful for what. Week 1, we landed in a community center gym under lights that believed in honesty more than ambience. A woman in yellow sneakers and a bell-shaped laugh taught us a beginner swing step that required us to count like children. I stepped on her foot and she swore like an editor. Then she kissed my temple with the grateful tenderness of a person who knows the difference between mistakes and risk. Week 2, my hand kept reaching for my phone the way your tongue worries a loose tooth. I told her. She admitted she almost re-enabled Join Known Networks automatic. She smiled without vanity. We have better things to gain than convenience, she said. She added home always to favorites in an app I didn't know could love us back. There were ugly evenings when the sink tried to become a symbol, and we forbade it with games. Who can carry a plate on their head to the couch without touching it? Nobody won. That was the point. There were Saturdays when a targeted ad for the height whore floated by in my feed like a coworker who doesn't understand leave me alone. I pulled down the screen like a curtain and the ad obeyed. Week 3, we took down a photo from a drawer, the kind that had been waiting for a frame that never made the budget. We taped it to the wall, us and 3 strangers beneath a sudden summer storm, the sky messy and persuasive. Our list on the fridge began to develop respectable creases. The magnet shaped like a banana did its small, holy work. Week 4, we tried the stupid brave thing. We turned everything off for an hour. We put our phones in a mixing bowl so neither of us would mistake curiosity for care. We told each other stories that don't live anywhere online. The time we missed a flight because we were successful at pretending to be spontaneous. The time she got us both invited to a wedding because of a misunderstanding and we stayed until the cake forgave the speeches. We laughed that good, shameless laugh and our shoulders remembered. On day 30, the captive portal tried again. The same photo. The same polite fonts. The same promise there is speed where there is discretion. I clicked forget this network asterisk with the solemnity of a ceremony nobody is invited to and said, not tonight, out loud, to a rectangle of glass that will never understand. This is the part of the story where an advertisement would like to tell you we achieved a version of ourselves you can subscribe to for $9.99 a month. Here is the truth. Sometimes we became people who choose, and sometimes we became people who try again. Sometimes the rules were lifelines. Sometimes they were just sentences we read to each other to remember we'd placed them there. 2 nights ago, the kettle whistled and the apartment learned how to hold the sound. Maya walked in with a book pressed to her hip like a second heart. What do you want exactly, she said, without Dacre. The past, I almost said, resized. What I said was, 6 counts, 4 tiles. Bread tomorrow we cut with 2 hands. She smiled with that seriousness that chose me the first time. And then we did something pious and ordinary. We practiced wanting where we actually live. The Wi-Fi has stopped saying welcome. Not because it's wrong, but because we no longer need it to tell us where we are. When it tries, and it will, I put my phone face down, then face up, the way I do with all the small machines that never learned how to mean mercy, and I tell it the only sentence that has been worth saying for a month. It isn't the network, I say. It's the door. And tonight it opens from the inside.